In most relationships, some people like to keep score, uh, and some others just want love. Tennis players understand this reference. Challengers, it's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by wearecritics.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so y'all can be up to speed about everything that I talk about here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am here to talk about a new film from director Luca Guadagnino. If you're familiar with his work, he's done Call Me By My Name, Suspiria. He's also did The Bones and All, which featured Timothy Chalamet. But we're here to talk about his latest film, Challengers. That's right. Stars the great Zendaya, Michael Fassbender, who a lot of you will probably remember from West Side Story. He was also in that Amazon show Panic that didn't get the love it deserved, based on a novel. And then it has Josh O'Connor, who I'm not really that familiar with, but I do remember seeing him in an episode of The Crown. That I've watched because I just remember seeing him in that. But we're talking about Challengers. And before we talk about what I thought about this film, let's talk about what it is. And the trailer gives a lot, but there's still so much more to take from this film. It is a tennis film. We see that in the trailer. It's primarily surrounded around tennis. So it follows a former tennis player, played by Zendaya, who is now the coach of her husband, Mike Fassbender. And Josh O'Connor's character is also a tennis player, very, very good tennis player. Him and Mike, they've grown up together since they were kids. They've known each other since they were like 12. They go to these clubs. They do tennis together. They compete together. They are just they're like brothers, so to speak. Along this journey, they meet Zendaya, who is a pro. Everyone knows her. She's got the endorsements coming, rolling in. Everybody knows her, and they know who she is, and they are just smitten by her. They love everything about her game and love everything about her. Now, without giving away too much, this film it just primarily it molds the game of tennis with courting in a way in the cat and mouse game in a way that is just absolutely mind blowing. That's what this movie is about. Let me tell you what I thought about this film. Now, I made a post where I said I think Zendaya is ready. She might be ready for an Oscar. That's not saying that this film is Oscar worthy or that the performances in this movie are Oscar worthy, but I would not put it past the Academy if they start talking about this movie once it gets released. Um, Her performance in this film is unlike anything I've ever seen her do. Like, we've seen the light side of her, the younger side of her in, Spider-Man films, and then we see the more darker tone of Zendaya in Euphoria. But this is something different. She has come into her womanhood. She is very mature and commanding and just bold. It is intense watching it, but satisfying at the same time. I honestly feel like she's running circles around Mike Fass and Josh in this film, but they are part of the ingredients that make this film work. Um, there is a lot to unpack in this film. You're not just watching a movie about tennis, and I want people to understand that going in. Like, yeah, if you love the game of tennis and you want to watch a movie about tennis, what you're going to see in this movie is someone with a true passion for the game and how it relates to life itself and how they make it weave into the story, and you're on the ride with them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, in the sound design in this film also helps because when they're hitting back and forth, and I don't know if it was just the theater I was in, because I was, like I said, I was in the Dolby screening room in New York City. You hear the hits, you hear the grunts, you hear the hustle, you hear the passion, you hear the fight. in each player when they're doing their thing. So that also helped in showing how intense the emotion in this film is. I just want to really just take my hat off to Luca, Zendaya, Mike, and Josh, because I honestly thoroughly enjoyed this film and was blown away by the emotion that came across the screen in this film. Zendaya is just a boss throughout this film. Like from the moment she hits the screen, you feel like the two gentlemen that want to court her. You're like, oh, she's here. Wow, I get it. I see it. Like there's just so much. There's just so much in that. Like I had a really great time watching this film, and there's to get a gist of where this film goes, and it sums up into this one line that Zendaya's character says, where she says she's having an argument with someone, and she says, tennis, tennis is not, it's not a game. It's not just a game. It's a relationship. And you understand what she means by that by the end of the film, because it's not, trust me, even though you think you might know, you don't know. I don't care what you think you saw in the trailer. Like, you just really, if you're not in tune with your own emotions and just kind of understanding, you might miss something. So just kind of go into this. There's a lot of back and forth time jumping and things like that. So you got to kind of really hone in on the characters and where they've been, where they're going, and where they are. So there's a lot of that. The film feels a little lengthy, but it works. It's lengthy for a reason. And the soundtrack is cool. Sometimes it can be a little jarring and too much, but it comes in right when it needs to come in to kind of intensify the moment. Yeah, I honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about this movie, and that makes me happy, because I don't know, I just, when I have a really good movie experience, I really want to boast about it, and I want to champion it, and I hope that this gets some Academy Award recognition in some kind of way, because it's written well. The acting is well. It's good to see people who are known for doing one thing come in and do something completely different and really make you fall in love with what's going on, regardless of who's an antagonist, who's a protagonist, who's good, who's bad. It's just good. It's good. I had a damn good time. I love the challenges, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, make sure you guys check that out. April 26th. I listen. Let me know, are you excited about this film? If you want to see it, if you didn't even know it was on the radar, like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, make sure you check out wearecritics.com. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.